So Trump's been in office for more than a month now, and he, along with Elon Musk, famously of the DOGE team, they've been on a tear, already saving taxpayers a staggering $105 billion as of today. Now, Trump revealed plans for cabinet secretaries and other high-level officials to hold more sway in the Department of Government Efficiency's push for personnel cuts. The goal is to have cabinet officials meet with DOGE every 2 weeks, with Trump praising Musk's efforts, by the way, as an incredible success. Here to discuss, Vice President of the Government Accountability Institute and co-host of the Drilldown podcast, Bruner Eggers. He's on the left of your screen. Also with us, the author of Controligarchs and Director of Research at the Government Accountability Institute, Seamus Bruner. That would mean he'd be on the right of your screen. All right. So DOGE has recommended, government agencies cut excess employees and end the waste and the fraud and all of the abuse that we see in D.C. these days. Federal employees have accepted some buyouts in some cases. Others got mad and got fired. Democrats are pushing back against DOGE, of course. And Trump is now suggesting that Elon and the team take a scalpel instead of a hatchet to the federal agencies. But let me start with you, Eric. What's your opinion of how DOGE is doing so far?
I think it's an unmitigated success. And I think that as taxpayers, we owe the Trump administration and Elon Musk and his team a debt of gratitude. Think about what you just said, $105 billion in savings. I think that's something like $3 billion a day plus or more than that. So I think that, and it's been there from the get-go. The Biden administration was not shy about handing out money to political benefactors and people that were on the right side of their ideological fantasies. And so finally, somebody has taken budgeting and taxpayer money and being a good fiscal steward of that seriously, and we're reaping benefits as a result.
So, Seamus, Trump shined a light on some, pretty bizarre pet projects uncovered by DOGE during his congressional address. Just hearing some of this stuff read out loud kind of makes you cringe. Watch some of these.
$40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real.
I mean, trans experiments for mice seems like the very definition of wasted tax dollars. Even the mice think so.
Yeah, Rob, great to see you. I just saw one today, almost $1 million to study the menstrual cycles of transgender men. I mean, I don't even know what that's for, and it's coming from the Department of Agriculture of all places.
I think the governor of Minnesota had that.
Yeah, so $105 billion, like Eric said, that's the floor. The sky's the limit. I think it's going to go a lot higher when you look at how much money is being spent on empty building spaces in Washington, D.C., when you see a lot of these employees who are working from home who can't justify their position. Think of that. I mean, you can't even send 5 bullet points of what you did in the past week. There's a lot of people like that. So when you start cutting the employees, you got to do it the right way. There are obviously, like you said, Rob, going to be lawsuits. But at the end of the day, there are trillions of dollars that have been wasted over the past couple administrations, possibly tens of trillions. Look at our national debt. And this is just very welcome news.
So I don't know if you saw, there was this leaked memo, right? It showed the Department of Veterans Affairs has outlined a plan to fire as many as 83,000 by the end of 2025. The IRS plans to reduce its workforce by 50%. That's roughly 45,000 people. They should start with the 87,000 hired already. Through a mix of layoffs, attrition, incentivized buyouts. That's according to the Times. Eric, you got a lot of these agencies, massive numbers of bodies. You just go to D.C., you see these enormous buildings, and they're supposed to be stuffed with people, but they're not even in the buildings. And then you got activist judges that are trying to stand in the way of these cuts. Where do you think this kind of goes and ends up when it's all said and done?
I hope it results in a radical transformation of Washington, D.C. Rob, one of the things that we've done here at the Government Accountability Institute and on our Drilldown podcast has exposed just how much wealth has been concentrated in Washington, D.C., which doesn't actually produce a product, right? In Silicon Valley, they're making things. And so you'd expect the wealthiest zip codes and the wealthiest area codes to be around there. But in fact, the opposite's true. 6 of the 10 wealthiest counties in this country surround Washington, D.C. The 4 wealthiest zip codes in this country are around Washington, D.C. We're sending the money there, and it's staying there, and it's ending up in the pockets of contractors. And you know that they're winning because now the media has resulted to, oh, well, Trump has reined in Elon Musk because he's asking agency secretaries to actually be in charge of what's happening in those agencies. And he's suggesting that, oh, well, the veterans, we're cutting veterans. Like, everyone agrees that the Veterans Affairs is well run, just like the IRS. So I think that you're seeing very smart, tactical things being done. A scalpel is a good thing because at the end of the day, what they're doing is performing surgery on the body of the United States budget, and it's been massively infected, and it's about time they start removing the cancerous tumors.
Yeah, and I've learned in public service, you try to take a pencil out of the budget and the Democrats scream you're killing kids and, senior citizens. So, you know what, you got to put your fingers in your ear and keep going forward, and I hope they do that. Eric Eggers and Seamus Bruner, guys, good to see you.